Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com, as well as the YouTube channel and NoDQ&A videos affiliate, ringsidenews.com. This will be the final edition of NoDQ&A video until the WWE TLC pay-per-view this coming Sunday, of course. WWE TLC, Tots, Ladders, and Chairs, live on the WWE Network. NoDQ.com has got you covered with the latest news, rumors, and of course, live results coverage. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. Very close to that 50,000 subscriber mark, which I'm trying to reach by January 1st, 2016. If you enjoyed the video today, please share it with a friend. Spread the word about NoDQ&A video. Let's get down to your questions now. First one comes from Grant Hudson. Do you think once Sting has his neck surgery that he'll be able to come back and wrestle again? Please answer in video. As much as I would like to say yes, I think the odds are against it happening. I think it's unlikely that Sting will wrestle again in WWE or wrestle anywhere, period. I think it's likely that his career is over, unfortunately. And it really pains me to say that because fans will remember his WWE run for his two big losses. The one at WrestleMania against Triple H, and then the one against Seth Rollins at Night of Champions. Yes, Sting did win a match against Big Show on Raw and a tag team match, but nobody's going to remember those matches. It really sucks. As a Sting fan, as someone who grew up as a kid watching Sting, it's just a real shame. It really sucks. The situation could have been better for Sting to end his career on a higher note, but what can you do? Things happen, and perhaps Sting really had no business working a pay-per-view main event against Seth Rollins, but at least he got to do that, and he got to end his career working with one of the current stars in WWE, and Sting got to actually headline a pay-per-view. So at the very least, he got to do that. But it's still a shame that he didn't get to have that one big pay-per-view win. And of course, there's always the possibility that he will be able to wrestle again, but the fact that he's pushing 60, he's not a guy in his 30s, he doesn't have the John Cena genetics, his career is probably over. Alright, this one comes from Matt. Hey Aaron, please answer in video. Do you think the best way to end this awful feud at TLC is for Roman to crush Sheamus? Move on straight after. I mentioned this in the TLC predictions video with Jeff Meacham. Make sure you guys check out that video if you haven't already. And I'll say the same thing here. Yes, I feel that Roman Reigns should have beaten Sheamus at Survivor Series. Sheamus should have never been WWE Champion to begin with. He shouldn't have been the Money in the Bank holder to begin with, but WWE went through with it. They went through with Sheamus successfully cashing it in. In my opinion, Roman Reigns should just destroy Sheamus at TLC, but I'm not expecting that to happen. My guess is WWE will drag this feud out at least one more month until the Royal Rumble, and at that point, we'll see Roman Reigns finally win the WWE title. But how many more times can Roman Reigns fail? He's already come close to winning the WWE title several times. There's a saying, either shit or get off the can. If WWE is going to go all the way with Roman Reigns, just put the title on him and go from there. If Roman loses at TLC, it'll probably be a screw job, and it's going to be lame if that's the case. And then they do yet another match at the Royal Rumble, which could very well get booed out of the building in Orlando. That's a possibility. That's another reason, perhaps, for Roman Reigns to just beat Sheamus at the TLC pay-per-view and just move on to something else. I really feel that's what WWE should do, but my guess is Sheamus will win by some sort of screw job, and we'll have to deal with this feud at least for another month. Alright, this one comes from D. Allen11. Hey Aaron, why has it been so long since there's been a face WWE champ, except for Reigns' 515 reign? Do you think we're due one? Absolutely. I would really like to see WWE change things up and have a babyface who is able to have a lengthy run. Now, the last person that got the opportunity was Daniel Bryan, but of course he got hurt. It seems that WWE only knows how to book heel champions with a heel authority figure backing the champion. We had Randy Orton as the heel champion. We had Seth Rollins as the heel champion. And now we have Sheamus as the heel champion. And I know WWE's trying to keep John Cena out of the WWE title picture, But the other problem is that WWE hasn't really booked a strong heel to challenge a babyface champion. WWE's solution to the problem of not having a strong heel is putting 4 mid-carders together and forming a heel faction to be the heel group in WWE and be the heel force. I would like to see WWE crown a babyface champion and build up a strong heel who's a credible threat to that babyface. It's something WWE hasn't done in a long time, and unless your name is Triple H, you don't really get the opportunity to be a top dominant heel. I guess Brock Lesnar was for a while until fans started cheering for him all the time. But yeah, it would be nice to see some sort of change in WWE, and like I said earlier, if you're going to make Roman Reigns the top guy, just get it done and make him champion and see where things go with it. Stop dragging out the storyline and having Reigns play the Daniel Bryan role when nobody buys into that character. You know, with Roman Reigns, people look at him as a badass Samoan. They want to see Roman Reigns go out there and beat people up. That is what works for that character. Not Roman Reigns trying to be The Rock 2.0 and coming out there and cutting long promos. Let Roman Reigns just be a dominant babyface champion and build up a dominant heel to challenge him. How hard is that? Alright, here. Phone froze. Alright, next question here comes from Stefan. Is there a light at the end of the tunnel for WWE? Please answer in your next video. Thanks. Of course there is. Wrestling goes in cycles. There have been down periods in wrestling and there have been hot periods in wrestling. And I'm fairly confident that WWE will enter another hot period at some point. It's just a matter of WWE making some changes and shaking things up and creating new superstars. I mean, when was the last time WWE has really created a long-term main event superstar besides John Cena, Batista, and Randy Orton? You could say CM Punk and Daniel Bryan, but WWE never really went 100% all the way with those guys as the face of the company. WWE really needs to create a new face of the company, not just one guy. I mean, 2 or 3 guys would be even better, to have 3 or 4 top-level superstars that the company is built around. New people, not going back to the past, creating new top superstars. So when that happens, we will see a new boom period in WWE. It's just a matter of WWE taking some chances and doing something different from what they've been doing the past decade now. Alright, this one comes from MUFC, WWE. If Jay Lethal makes the jump to WWE, could you see him eventually having something to do with the New Day? I guess that would be a possibility, but you have to consider the fact that Jay Lethal will probably go through developmental NXT if he even gets signed to WWE. That's the first thing. And the second thing is, by the time Jay Lethal got to the main roster, will the New Day even still be a group? One would think that if Jay Lethal comes in and he's in NXT for a year, by the time he gets to the main roster, the New Day will have been disbanded and all 3 guys would be off on their own doing singles runs. But if Jay Lethal signs with WWE in the near future and gets put on the main roster very soon, then I guess that would be a possibility. And you could also just align him with one of the New Day members. I mean, if the group breaks up, you could always put Xavier and Jay Lethal as a group, or you could do something like that. Alright, this one comes from Nicolay. Hey Aaron, why haven't we seen a 3 Stages of Hell match lately? Big fan, please answer in video. I'm just guessing here. I would think that perhaps WWE doesn't want to dedicate too much pay-per-view time to 2 wrestlers. As we've seen in recent years, WWE likes to get as many people on the pay-per-view events as possible, so everybody gets that pay-per-view payday bonus. When you have 2 wrestlers that dominate the pay-per-view, that's fewer guys that get spots on the card. and that can create morale issues. I mean, that's just a guess in my opinion. You know, when WWE was doing the 3 stages of hell matches, you know, the one they did with Triple H and Steve Austin, that was when WCW was still in business, so you didn't have a bloated roster, so you could dedicate more pay-per-view time to fewer guys. And then when they did it during the brand extension, you had the brand extension. You had brand exclusive pay-per-views. So it's just a different environment now where you have so many people on the roster, and WWE wants to keep everybody happy. And how do you do that? You have as many pay-per-view spots open for talent as possible, and you don't dedicate too much of your TV and pay-per-view time to a few wrestlers. Alright, this one comes from Eric Cruz. Would you like to see WWE have more title changes on TV like it was during the Attitude Ruthless Aggression era? For the most part, I think it's good to not have title changes that often. If you're going to have a title change, it should have a good reason behind it. You should have a good purpose in having a title change. I'm fine with every now and then doing a title change on television. I think it does create a little bit more unpredictability and gives you a reason to tune in to TV shows, because you might see something, you might miss something if you don't watch. That's one reason why I would do it every now and then. I understand the idea of saving the title changes for pay-per-views, because that makes the titles more special and you want people to tune into the pay-per-views first and foremost. Although now it's not as important because of the network, it's not as big of a deal. I would just like to see every now and then there be a title change. You don't have to do it often, but you know, I don't think it would hurt to have the WWE World Title change hands on a Monday Night Raw, maybe once a year. I don't see a big problem in that. Alright, this one comes from Mr. Panda 316. Do you think the WWE product right now is just as bad as TNA's or maybe even worse? As bad as I feel the WWE product is right now, I would not go as far to say that it's worse than TNA. The problem with TNA right now is that they haven't really invested a lot in storylines, and that's because of the fact that TNA tapes 5 or 6 shows in a 1-week period, or even worse than that. And right now TNA is just doing this world title series. There's no storylines. It's just this tournament to fill up time until they debut on Pop TV. But we'll see if TNA steps up their game in January when they debut on Pop TV. They could definitely. This would be a great time for TNA to try and capitalize on WWE's product being at perhaps an all-time low. Some would definitely argue that. The fact that there's so many frustrated WWE fans, maybe TNA can win over some of those fans now. Maybe some people will be willing to give TNA another chance. So it's really critical for TNA when they debut on Pop TV, not just because they're on yet another station and they really need to step up their game, but also this is their chance to perhaps win back some fans and win over some frustrated WWE fans that are tired of WWE and are looking for a solid alternative. Alright, this one comes from Dylan Scruggs. I've been watching WWE, ECW, and WCW shows and pay-per-views. I'm still in the middle of 95. When does WWE and WCW get entertaining? As far as the television shows go, things definitely start to pick up when Nitro was launched. You had WCW stepping up their game, and WWE slowly started evolving their product. For me, the turnaround for WWE was slow. It started around the 1995 Survivor Series, and the pay-per-views for the most part get better, in my opinion, around that time. WCW was more hit and miss, but I would say around the middle part of 96 is when WCW pay-per-views started getting really good, because they brought in all the talent from Mexico and the talent from Japan, so you had really strong undercards. And then with the NWO in the main event picture, WCW from start to finish started getting really fun to watch. So I would say mid 96 for WCW and late 95 for WWE. Alright, that'll wrap it up for this edition of NoDQ&A video. Subscribe, youtube.com/NoDQ&AV. Help spread the word. Getting close to 50,000 subscribers. thank you all that have been supporting NoDQ&A video and telling friends about the videos. I appreciate all the feedback and support from you guys. And stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest regarding TLC, and I'll see you guys next time.